Welcome to this quick setup guide for Datadog. In this video, we'll walk you through everything you need to know about Datadog integrations, how to set up the Datadog agent, connect it to your systems, and start collecting valuable data. Whether you're new to Datadog or looking to optimize your setup, this tutorial will get you up and running in no time. Let's dive in! One of Datadog's core values is simplicity. It's designed to make your monitoring as straightforward as possible. That's why integrations are important to ensure that your setup is made easy. Datadog offers over 600 integrations, covering everything from cutting-edge cloud platforms to legacy on-prem systems. You can see a lot of them just being displayed right now. Keep in mind that the benefits of those is to accelerate your time to value. These integrations can be split into multiple categories, but the things that I want you to pay attention right now is that some require an agent and some require no agents. Agentless integrations include SaaS platforms like major cloud providers, MongoDB Atlas, and communication tools like Slack, Teams, or Jira. We will dive into those integrations in another video. Now let's go back to the integrations that need an agent. Those require a simple two-step process. Step 1, install the agent. Go to the Agent tab, the instructions are available there. Note that the agent is open source. It is also designed to have a minimal footprint, so it won't disrupt your environment. On the left, you can see all of the technologies where the installation of Datadog is made pretty easy. For Kubernetes or other container technologies, the instructions are available there. We will also go deeper in such installation in another video. Below, you can see the host-based technologies, where for most of them, such as Windows, Debian, Red Hat, we have a one-line installation that will automatically deploy the agent in a few minutes. For specific cloud platforms, other set of instructions are referenced there. Finally, if you're using some configuration management tools such as Ansible, you also have a play to help you to get started. Datadog also supports OpenTelemetry, which means that Datadog can collect all the information compatible with OpenTelemetry. As you can see, all the main platforms are covered. Now let's continue this demo by setting up the agent on an Amazon Linux machine. As mentioned, let's get hands-on and start with the installation of the agent. You will see how simple and efficient this process is. At the moment, you can see no host currently reporting in the past 4 hours. So let's install our first agent. For that, let's go back to the agent installation page with Amazon Linux instructions. Select the relevant API key. Check the additional integrations that you want to set up. Note that some of them may incur additional costs. I will not enable any of those integrations for now. Let's copy the command line and move back to my Eka2 instance. I can now paste the command, wait a bit for the installation to complete. It should take only a few minutes. When the installation is finished, the host will appear on this dashboard. So let's just wait a bit more. Great, the installation is completed. Everything seemed to be successful. Let's go back to the dashboard. Now in a few seconds, I should be able to see the data reporting. Let's refresh the page and we can see the first data appearing. By zooming in on the past 5 minutes, we could see more data points being reported and more will come step by step. A few more seconds and the second data point is now available. The agent by default reports information every 10 to 15 seconds. This is ideal for most use cases, but it can be changed if need be. Alright, we now have our first data coming in. Let's explore how to manage the agent using the command line and customize its configuration. Not that my agent is reporting. I want to show you a few commands to manage it. If I go to this documentation page and commands, you can see that there are a few subcommands available for your agents to play with. Note that they differ depending on the environment. If I go up to the top of this page, I will have the instruction here for my Linux environment and more precise for Amazon Linux. Now I can see all of the commands relevant to my situation. To restart the agent, for instance, after a configuration change, the restart command will trigger and agent restart. There are also commands to see the status of my agent service, which can be copy-pasted. For more details about the agent itself, the status command is quite useful. It is actually an important command and used frequently when debugging or doing your first install to check if everything is running properly. In the output, all the relevant information regarding agent running process is available. On the top, we can see the version of the agents, the name of the host, and so on. Quite a few information is available, and I invite you to have a look on your own. For instance, if I were to put some tagging, such configuration would be visible there. Below, we have all of the rest of the information where we can see if the integrations, also called collectors here, are working properly. We have a few collectors currently running properly, such as for the CPU disk or file I/O. Those collectors are native to the agent and installed all the time. We will install additional ones later. The command also shows other sub-processes running with the agent, one for the APM, one for dogstatsd, the forwarder, the OpenTelemetry collector, and more. As you can see, the information provided is quite comprehensive. Let's now edit the main configuration file. First, let's go to the documentation to find its location. In here, we can see where the configuration files are located. This is the location for Linux. My objective is now to edit this configuration file and add some tagging. Other sub-processes could also be turned on from this same file. By editing the file, we can now see all of the basic configuration. We can see my API key, the site I'm using, and other kind of information. It is very well documented with a quick description for each parameter and its default value. What I'm interested in for this example is to set up some tags, so let's find the relevant parameter for it. Once found, let's add the tags for team and project. Below, I also want to set the environment tag, which is important in a good Datadog setup. Let's set it up to div for this demo. As you can see, a lot more options are available. I invite you to check other parameters, such as the ones for APM or logs. Just pay attention to what you enable, since some parameters will enable integrations with additional charges. You can also see an example of this configuration files from the documentation if you click on this link. It will bring you to the GitHub repository of the agent since it's open source, with all of the parameters and their descriptions. Let's now save the file with the changes. At this moment, the changes are not taken into account. To apply these changes, restart the agent. To do that, let's look back at the documentation. Copy the command for Linux and for Amazon Linux on how to restart the agents. Let's paste the command and now the agent is restarted. If I want to see that everything is working properly, I can paste the status command. At the top, I will be able to see the tags that I just added. As promised, we can see that the new tags are then taken into account. Now in my dashboard, we can observe that previously these combination of tags were reporting where the cloud provider tag and NV tag were not set. From now on, you can see a new color appeared, representing a new tag combination, where for the same host, we now categorize it under environment dev. As promised, setting up the agent only takes a few minutes. Now let's discover how to set up an agent integration. The setup is as fast, and we will reuse a lot of the commands we just discovered. So now that the agent is installed, how to set up the relevant integrations. Let's take an example here. We could look for Apache, for instance. Let's dive into the integration tile. The tile gives all the instructions to set the integration. The goal is to make the process efficient for you. Go to the relevant directory, set up where the status URL of the Apache server is, and restart the agent. Simple, right? If the logs are also relevant, these additional instructions also detail how to set it up. You may see a lot more details below. Those are the instructions for other environments using Docker, Kubernetes, and more. If you want to see which data is collected, in this other tab, there is the list of all the logs collected and the metrics. You can see the name of the metrics within the platform and a quick description. Overall, what is visible is that within minutes, a lot of information starts to flow in. So how do you make sense of all this data? This is where the resources come in. On the next tab, we have some monitoring resources. In addition of having the data being collected, Datadog also provides out-of-the-box dashboards for most of the integrations which aim to get you started without any effort. For this dashboard, if I were to navigate to it, you would see the dashboard for Apache. At the moment it is empty because the integration setup is not done anywhere. For this demo, let's follow the instructions for Redis to show you how simple it is. We've already set up the agent, and now we need to set the Redis configuration file. The documentation provides the location of the main directory where all agent integration configurations are available. I'm on Linux, so this is my location. Let's go to this specific directory and list the subdirectories. You now see all of the integrations available native to the agent. Redis is already there, cd into Redis and list the files. There is a configuration YAML file example. This file includes all the parameters available. Here we need just the basic instructions to get started, so a new file is enough. Unfortunately, at the moment, I don't have Redis installed, so it will fail, but let's continue for the demo. Let's create the file on the instance and set the relevant instructions. Let's try again to save the file with sudo. The last step missing is to restart the agents. On the documentation on how to restart the agent, I can copy the command and paste it. If Redis would be installed, the data would start to be collected. Yes, that's simple. To see that the changes have been taken into consideration, let's run the agent status command. Not the service status, but the agent status command. On the collector section, the collector for Redis is now running. The error is related to the fact that no Redis instance is set up on this machine. On the Redis integration tile, in the tab Data Collected, Datadog lists all of the information available about the logs and metrics. Again, there are a lot metrics and logs collected. To keep things simple and visualize the data now, the out-of-the-box dashboard would present everything in a nice format. If you're unsure what to monitor in Redis, the dashboard provides helpful guidance and color-coded instructions to get you started. You could see some of key metrics at the top, some performance metrics below, etc. To go further, if you are interested in looking at all the dashboards provided out of the box by Datadog, go to Dashboard List. Click on All Integrations and see all of the dashboards. If some dashboards are missing, it's because the integration tile has not been installed. So go back to the list of all the integrations, select the relevant integration and click on Install. It will add the out-of-the-box dashboard and some relevant monitor resources. When the metrics start to come in, you'll also be able to display them immediately and understand how your technology behaves. Overall, setting up an integration is straightforward and provide a lot of relevant monitoring data in minute. Not only that, out-of-the-box resources help you make sense of the data even without prior knowledge. Just to conclude this video, I've installed Redis on my instance. Let me show you how the dashboard now looks like. Going back to our Redis dashboard, the metrics start to be visible. Since the Redis cluster is not very active, some metrics are collected, but not all due to the lack of activity. The goal was to quickly show what the dashboard can look like and how it can provide guidance to get started. Great job! You've successfully installed the Datadog agent and started collecting data from your systems. You're now ready to take full advantage of Datadog's powerful monitoring capabilities. If you need more help setting up integrations or configuring advanced features, check out our other tutorials. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and updates. Thanks for watching and happy monitoring!